dear eFTI believers and skeptics, I assume most of you are believers there. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be there. But if you have few skeptics in the room or online, I hope that by the end of the conference, you will start to see the bright light and believe that the eFTI world can exist. Birgit and everyone involved, thank you for the effort you put into organizing this event. You have done an amazing job there. It's great to see so many people, both on site and online. So, like Birgit already mentioned, that unfortunately I can't be there in person as I injured myself and currently have my leg in a cast. So, therefore, I will be following and supporting you virtually. So today I will give you a short overview of how member states are preparing for eFTI, especially Estonia. For the warm-up, let's start with a few basic words to make sure we're on the same page throughout the conference. So the eFTI platform is a service provided by the private sector. It's a system used for processing and storing eFTI data. So it's not an eCMR platform, but the eFTI platform layer can be built on top of one or integrated with the transport company's ERP or DMS system. And the eFTI Gate is the, the layer between the eFTI platforms and competent authority systems. It enables data exchange between stakeholders. The next speakers will go into more detail, and I won't stay on this point longer. Here you can see the overview of the member states that have already made progress with eFTI in different projects. I'd like to mention that this picture is made by Lasse. If you spot any problems, he's somewhere sitting in the room, so feel free to have a private chat with him later. So green shows those who have been most successful. Orange marks those who have made some progress, and gray those who are just starting out. Next time when we meet, I'm pretty sure that at least Germany and Estonia will be green as well. You can also see the 3 projects here, eFTI for EU, eFTI for All, and eFTI for Live, and which member states are taking part from this project. But the main goal of all of these projects is to support each other and share experience, especially with those who haven't joined the project. So, how Estonia prepares for the eFTI. Before I talk about what Estonia has done, let me share how I found my way into the eFTI world. I used to work for a freight forwarding company, and before that I worked for the Estonian police. At the time when I worked for the Estonian police, I felt that our systems belonged to the 20th century. And I expected when I moved to international freight forwarding company, I finally get to work, high-tech systems. But on my first day, reality hit pretty hard. People were still doing a lot of manual work, printing waybills. For me, it was unreal. It's a 21st century. Okay, maybe not that bad, but still the processes are outdated. I have to say I hate paper. If there was a paper-free world movement or something, I'd be probably one of the most active members. Today we have doctors doing remote operations, drone warfare is ongoing, but in transport we are still printing papers. We talk about self-driving trucks, but imagine if papers are still required, will there be someone in the truck just to hand over the papers to the authorities? Today, younger generation is practically born with mobile phones in their hands, so the traditional paper-based processes feel outdated to them. So when I got the opportunity to join the ministry and work on eFTI, then I was like, of course, let's do it. But let's now move on to the part how Estonia prepares for eFTI and what we have done so far. Between 2020 and 2023, we have made several successful cross-border pilots in Baltics. With this project, we have gained very valuable experience. In 2022, we ordered a study on how to set up Estonian national access point. Now we call it eFTI gate. In that time, the eFTI gate word wasn't in made yet, how to say it. This study gave us an overview about how to set up framework and responsibilities. It suggested solutions, how it should be integrated to Estonian digital infrastructure, and gave us an approximate overview what it will cost. So we got a clear picture of how we should move on and what steps we need to take. The same year, we launched a support measure to encourage the development of eCMR platforms in Estonia. 6 service providers received support, and together with the support measure, they got the obligation to become eFTI platforms in the future. The service providers, of course, took a commitment without knowing what it would cost them to become an eFTI platform. But this way, we ensure that there will be some service providers in the future. In 2023, we joined with the eFTI4EU project. I would like to say that one of our best decisions ever. In this project, we have gained very valuable knowledge about how and what needs to be done. It has been a great learning experience. As part of the project, we have carried out some pilots together with the Digilogistika Keskus. Heiti will later provide more detailed overview about these pilots. And in the right side, you can see 2 pictures from the police user interface. The system is called Apollo. This picture shows how they will plan to use it in the future. In the search field, the officer enters the vehicle registration number. In this example is the Estonian license plate. Then the officer can select what type of information they want to receive. There are different options such as car and related people, police, and further down, I don't know if you see there or not, it's the eFTI. When the officer activates the request sent to the eFTI gate. After receiving the response, the officer can view the information. You can see this example. These data shown are just random test values. Since 23, we have held quarterly meetings with ministries, authorities, private stakeholders to keep everyone informed and involved. In 2024, we ordered another analysis, this time to prepare the legal framework for implementing eFTI in Estonia. It included recommendation for legislative changes, provided recommendations, and gave a preliminary timeline for action. So, but then we started strong, but then life happened. I like to say dark times began. In 23, political changes led to the creation of new ministries. eFTI topic moved from Minister of Economic Affairs under the Minister of Climate, but the IT center that was initially planned to handle the development stayed under the Ministry of Economic Affairs. So, of course, they didn't want to deal with this topic anymore, and there weren't no written agreements, only verbally agreed actions. So we had now the vision, but no one left to make it happen. So the moral of the story, make sure all agreements are in writing right from the start. But dark times will end, and now the bright times started. In early 25, we finally managed to sign agreement with our ministry's IT center, who were willing to begin with the development work. Many months went for the onboarding and preparations. Now we are finally finalizing that tender for the eFTI gate development. We hope to launch it in the coming weeks, and by the end of 25, hopefully we can start development works, and after that move on to the testing and the implementation. So my fingers are crossed. This year, we also launched 2 support measures for economic operators, helping around 300 companies to integrate their systems, ERPs, DMSs with the eCMR platforms. Like mentioned, these platforms will be obliged to become eFTI platforms in the future. We have also supported economic operators to digital waste data solutions, which in the future will be connected with the Estonian national waste system. that will be connected with FTGate and with the device. And this support measure is still ongoing. And of course, we are taking part from the FT for Live project, this time not as a project coordinator, but just an active partner. But what's next in Estonia? Should we begin with automatic controls or by making waybills mandatory for domestic transport? I think that's not the goal. Our aim is to find ways to make the system more useful for economic operators. If the data already exists somewhere, we should be able to reuse it. We want to ensure that at least within Estonia, this data can be used to fill its full potential, and the process is simple as possible for economic operators. So this creates added value and hopefully provides a boost. After all, the real purpose behind this to help businesses to simplify their work, not to create yet another obligation. This is one of the reasons why we joined the FT for Live project, to explore possible ways to achieve all of this. So I have a few recommendations for member states. I'd like to say once again, to make sure you will remember it after this conference, we have only 626 days left. So let's make it happen together. The road won't be easy, but together we can do it. If you haven't started it, now is really the time. My recommendations are really simplified, but you will get some kind of understanding. So make a roadmap and set the plan. Identify stakeholders, involve them, for example, ministries, competent authorities, private sector stakeholders, and if you have any waybill service provider, include them as well. Decide who will lead the legislative changes, who will be the owner of the FTGate and lead the development. Look for cooperation. As you know, there are lack of experts in this field. Identify one or more member states that have made progress in developing FTGate and to explore opportunities for cooperation. It is not necessary to have your own national gate. It can also be operated jointly. Find another member state and explore opportunities to start developing it together. It's easier, probably more effective to do it jointly. I understand that cooperation can sometimes be challenging, but working together makes you stronger. The recommendation is to use the FT4EU project reference code as a basis. Of course, you can always start from the scratch, but I'm not entirely sure that's the best approach, but it's up to you. If you don't want to cooperate with others, you can just put together your own development team and take the lead. But the recommendation is still the same. Use the FT4EU project code as your starting point. If you have the capability, you can describe the whole solution yourself, that get a fully built and working system. It's risky, but doable if you can manage it. Still, I'd recommend using the FT4EU project knowledge as your starting point. And finally, of course, if none of these previous recommendations work for you, you can always be creative and find your own way. I would like to say and emphasize that this is not a race to see who achieves results first, but it's rather a shared journey where we should support one another. And this is my final slide. And I'd like to add, if there's any way I can help you, please don't hesitate to let me know. I will be more than happy to support you on this journey. And if you don't have the answers, if I don't have the answers myself, I'll make sure to direct you to the right people. I promise to respond quickly if you reach out to me. So thank you for listening, and I wish you a successful and pleasant rest of the day, and please don't break your leg.
Thank you very much, Enriko. We have time for a couple of questions.
Yes. So over the eye, we have got a couple of questions. I think maybe Enriko or somebody else can answer for this. First thing is that we are talking about competent authorities. So what is competent authority?
Competent authorities are those who need electronic freight transport information for their work, for example, police, customs, and so on. So the competent authorities are from the state side.
And the second question was, is there some support for the economic operators, how they can implement? And I think now you can advertise Estonia.
Yes, in Estonia, we support the economic operators to integrate their systems with potential future eFTI platforms. Currently, they are named ECMR platforms, but in the future, they have the obligation to become eFTI platform. So we supported each this connection about 15,000 euros to make it happen and have this connection with each other.
Maybe I can add that eFTI for All project is all about economic operators. So maybe there is not financial support for the companies who are not part of the eFTI for All project, but they definitely gain from this project. So thank you, Enrico. And we will have more discussions during the... one question, sorry, from the hall.
Yeah, hello, thank you. My name is David Saif, representing Open Logistics Foundations and other organizations. You mentioned that it will become mandatory for ECMR platforms in Estonia to become also eFTI platforms. Is that a specific national legislation from Estonia? First question. And second question, does this also apply for external ECMR providers situated in Germany, France, wheresoever, that they must become eFTI platforms in Estonia?
No, it's not an obligation, but the time when they got the support measure to develop their ECMR platforms, then we added the point there that they need to become eFTI platforms in the future. Otherwise, they can't use the support measure.